Now Tory Lanez is back in the court headlines again, but this time it's not about Meg Thee Stallion. Tory just filed an emergency motion claiming that prison staff are retaliating against him after he filed that $100 million lawsuit against the California prison system. According to the filing, Tory's legal team says correctional officers are allegedly targeting him, writing him up for questionable violations, threatening him, and trying to move him into situations that could put him in danger. And remember, this comes after Tory was stabbed 16 times in prison last year. So now, his lawyers are basically telling the court, look, this situation is getting dangerous again. They're asking for emergency protection from the judge, including preventing certain officers from being alone with Tory and forcing the prison to preserve surveillance footage, reports, emails, and records tied to what's allegedly been happening behind the scenes. Now, this is where things get interesting, because Tory's team is painting a picture that the retaliation started after he sued the prison system over the stabbing incident. They're implying that once he filed that lawsuit, the environment around him allegedly became even more hostile. Let's be clear here. None of this changes Tory's criminal conviction. His sentence is still intact. This motion is strictly about what he says is happening to him in prison right now. And honestly, whether people support Tory or not, this situation raises bigger questions about inmate safety, retaliation claims, and how prisons handle high-profile inmates once lawsuits get involved. Because if even part of these allegations are true, that becomes a serious issue. Now, on the flip side, prison officials have not publicly admitted wrongdoing. So, we gotta keep that balanced. But one thing is undeniable. Tory Lanez continues to stay in the headlines even while behind bars. And I have a feeling this situation is far from over. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do y'all think Tory is genuinely being targeted? Or do you think this is a part of a bigger legal strategy from his team? Make sure y'all subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay locked in with I Am Ian Alex for the full breakdown. So despite what you might think of Tory Lanez and, whether you think he did it or didn't do it in terms of the shooting of Meg Thee Stallion, I think he's well within his rights to have concern with the prison, and he doesn't need to sit and take it just because he's in prison, you know what I mean? Inmates have rights too, you know what I mean? And if the people who are supposed to protect you in there can't protect you, he's doing the right thing by raising the alarm, you know what I mean? And yeah, $100 million should be given to him, you know what I mean? Because, yeah, it's one thing to go to prison and deal with all of that, but ain't nobody trying to lose their life in jail either, you know what I mean? And who knows what that was, you know what I mean? There's all kinds of rumors that it was some type of setup. It could have been outside forces, because he stayed claiming, Rock Nation got something to do with, a lot of stuff that's happening to him, And again, if he did the crime, do the time. But in that time, he shouldn't have to deal with, possibly dying, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's worth looking into, because corrections officers and officers period, some of them are very corrupt and could possibly be doing stuff in retaliation, and so it should be looked at. Definitely have the cameras or what not to see if there's stuff afoul in the facility. So I think his lawyers are doing the right thing, and we just got to see what the outcome is with that, because he does have enough, of an alibi or enough of a reason to be like, yeah, I need to be in a safer space, because he got stabbed 16 times, So that's my food for thought. Y'all do the dishes. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions or any comments, don't feel like you can't hit me up. You know what I mean? I'm cool. I'm ready to answer your questions and build this community.